Resident Evil.
Resident Evil the GameCube remake. Firstly released in 2002, a remade version of the game known as Resident Evil was released for the Nintendo GameCube. This was a part of an exclusivity agreement between Capcom and Nintendo that spanned 3 new games. The title includes a variety of new gameplay elements, environments, and the story details as well as state-of-art visuals.
Chris? Take care.
Yeah.
The game is notable for its nearly photorealistic environments, all of which are pre-rendered. The remake features all new graphics and sound, and also incorporates gameplay elements from the later installments, such as the use of body language to indicate the main character's health and the 180-degree turn. In addition, it introduced a new running style. Several new areas were added to the game. The overall plot remains largely unchanged. The original live-action FMV segments are redone. The script was rewritten to have more serious tone and improved translation, as opposed to the unprofessional dialogue in a roughly translated script of the original. Gameplay mechanics are largely the same, although most of the puzzles have been changed and the player can equip a defensive weapon that can be used to seize by an enemy. These defense weapons include the dagger, which can be used by both playable characters, whilst they have each their own defensive weapon exclusive to them. Jill uses a taser, whilst Chris is able to find stun grenades. These weapons can be set to either automatic or manual use by the player, saving them from taking damage, although they cannot be used unless grabbed. Additionally, the remake features many unlockable game modes, secrets, and various endings not found in the original.
Resident Evil Zero.
Resident Evil Zero. Released in 2002, it was the last of the main titles to use the original Resident Evil game system, prior to the change in system ushered in by the release of Resident Evil 4. The game's storyline serves as a prequel to Resident Evil, covering the events and ordeals experienced by the STAR's Bravo team, including Rebecca Chambers, a few hours prior to the original game.
You're the prisoner that was being transferred for execution. You were with those soldiers outside.
Oh, I see. You're with stars. Well, no offense, honey, but your kind doesn't seem to want me around, so I'm afraid our little chat time is over.
Wait! You're under arrest!
No thanks, Dollface. I've already worn handcuffs.
I could shoot, you know.
The main gameplay feature of Resident Evil Zero, called the partner zapping system, is unique in the series in that instead of choosing a single character to play through the game, the player controls both of the main characters through the entire game. Rebecca Chambers, STAR's Bravo team's medic from the original Resident Evil, and Billy Cohen, an escaped ex-military convict. Both characters can travel together, with one another being controlled by the player and another by the computer, or split up and search separate areas each at the same time. This dual control is central to solving some of the puzzles in the game. The difference between the characters is that Rebecca can acquire chemicals with her mixing kit and can get into tight spaces. But in contrast, she has less health. Billy can handle heavy objects, has a lighter and can sustain more damage than Rebecca, but unfortunately he cannot mix herbs. The game also does away with the use of boxes placed in fixed locations for the player to store items in. Instead, the player can now drop items on the floor to make room for new ones, which they can later retrieve for future use. The location of dropped items are displayed in the player's map. STAR's Bravo team is sent to investigate a series of grisly murders in the Arklay Mountains region outside of Raccoon City. On the way to the scene, the team's helicopter is sabotaged and crash lands into the forest. The team then discovers an overturned military police transport truck and the mutilated corpses of 2 officers. After the team splits up, field medic Rebecca Chambers finds a zombie-infested train stopped in the middle of the forest. After a little exploration, she teams up with former US Marine Billy Cohen, a man the military police were escorting to his execution. They then investigate the underground facility facing off against the Umbrella Corporation's experiments. Mutated insect spiders and primates, they discover that the former operator of the facility, James Marcus, along with Oswald E. Spencer and Edward Ashford, discovered the progenitor virus, a strain of which causes rapid mutations when combined with the Ebola virus. Ashford originally wanted to use the virus to help the handicapped through its regenerative effects, but after his death, Spencer and Marcus began research on its applications for bioweapons, combining it with leech DNA, which eventually led up to the formation and infections of the T-virus. As the facility crumbles, the 2 escape into the forest and come to a halt on a cliff. Overlooking the Spencer estate, they salute one another after Rebecca declares Billy officially dead. Each goes their own way, with Rebecca heading towards the mansion to investigate the whereabouts of Bravo team.
Thank you, Rebecca.